1 month after Kyle Busch's death, his wife shared a single message that stopped NASCAR fans in their tracks. It wasn't about racing. It wasn't about trophies. It was about something sitting untouched inside a drawer, and the heartbreaking reason why. Quake. The racing world was left stunned when news broke that Kyle Busch had passed away at just 41 years old. Reports revealed that what began as a serious case of pneumonia quickly turned into a life-threatening medical emergency. For many fans, the news felt impossible to believe. Weeks earlier, Kyle had been doing what he always did, living life at full speed and inspiring millions on and off the track. Tributes poured in from drivers, teams, and fans across the country. Social media was flooded with memories, race highlights, and messages of disbelief. It was the kind of loss that seemed to stop the entire NASCAR community in its tracks. But while fans were struggling to process the news, an even more painful reality was unfolding behind closed doors. Just 1 month after his passing, Father's Day arrived, and for Samantha Busch, it turned into the hardest day of her life. Instead of joy, there was a house filled with memories that now felt painfully incomplete. In her emotional post, she revealed something that hit fans deeply. The Father's Day cards had already been made, sitting in a drawer that no one would ever open for him again. It was a simple detail, but one that carried a devastating weight. Bonjour. As she tried to make sense of the day, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't just about missing a husband. It was about 2 children trying to understand a Father's Day without their dad. And what she shared next showed just how deeply that absence was being felt. Behind the helmet and the high-speed racing image, Kyle Busch was, above all, a father who lived for his family. Samantha often shared that he never treated time with his kids as something small or optional. It was everything to him. Bummed whether it was staying up late to read bedtime stories, laughing with them after long race days, or turning ordinary moments into something special, he made sure Brexton and Lennox always felt his presence. Even after tough races, he would shift his focus straight back to home life, as if nothing else mattered more. For fans who only saw the competitive side of him on the track, this softer, more personal side painted a completely different picture. But the memories that once brought smiles now carry a painful weight. After sharing her tribute, Samantha Busch posted photos and videos that quickly spread across social media, and they hit fans harder than anyone expected. It wasn't just race wins or trophy moments. It was the small, everyday memories that now felt irreplaceable. Manned clips showed the kids running into Kyle's arms after races, smiling like nothing else in the world mattered. Other moments captured family trips, quiet days at home, and laughter that now feels like it belongs to another time. Each video carried a reminder of how present he was in their lives, even in the busiest parts of his career. Band of fans watching online described the same feeling, joy mixed with heartbreak. Because every clip made one thing painfully clear. This wasn't just a racing legend lost. It was a father missing from every future memory. And while the world was reacting to those videos, Samantha opened up about something even harder to put into words. Samantha Busch May's message shifted from memories to the reality of what life feels like now. She described a grief that doesn't just sit in the heart, but follows you through every moment of the day. Waking up, sitting with the kids, even the quiet moments all carry the same reminder. Something is missing. She admitted that it still doesn't feel real, and that the absence is something she and the children feel in ways that are hard to explain. It's not just sadness, but a constant emptiness that shows up in the smallest routines of life. Even simple things now feel different, because everything they do is shaped by who isn't there anymore. And through all of this, she made one promise that gave fans a small moment of comfort. Dot. As the racing world continued to mourn, NASCAR prepared a tribute that brought emotions to the surface once again. At the Coca-Cola 600, the atmosphere at the track shifted from competition to remembrance as fans and drivers came together to honor Kyle Busch's legacy. Len and his family was present, standing on the track where so many of his greatest moments happened. The silence before the race carried a weight that words couldn't describe. As the sport paused to recognize everything he had meant to NASCAR, officials and fellow drivers shared emotional words, highlighting not just his achievements, but the impact he had on the entire racing community. It wasn't just about wins or records anymore. It was about a presence that many felt could never be replaced. And even as the tribute ended, one question lingered in the minds of fans everywhere. Even after his passing, Kyle Busch's presence continues to be felt in the world of NASCAR and within his own family. His career wasn't just defined by wins and championships, but by the mark he left on the sport and the people around him. Fans and fellow drivers still talk about his intensity, his determination, and the way he pushed the limits every time he got on the track. But beyond the racing legacy, there's something even more personal that continues to grow: his role as a father. Blum to his son Braxton has already shown interest in racing, and many believe he could one day carry forward his father's passion on the track. For Samantha and every memory now becomes part of a story they will continue telling for years to come. And in many ways, Kyle's story didn't end. It simply shifted into the people he loved the most. In the end, it all comes back to a single, unopened Father's Day card, a small detail carrying the weight of everything left unsaid. Samantha's words remind us that behind the racing legend was a real family. Kyle Busch's true legacy isn't the trophies he won, but the lives he shaped. He may be gone, but his presence is felt every single day. Because sometimes the loudest impact a person leaves behind isn't on the track. It's in the silence left in the hearts of those who loved them most.